Hello everybody, this is SteroidUnicorn here, and today I have something very special to show you guys. So the reason I have not been recording the past few months is because I've been working on this. Not just this castle, but this world. And this is the world of Runescape, basically. So you can see on the map here, inside of Lumbridge Castle, we have the river that goes out. We got like the Goblin Area there. We got various buildings around. And I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a tour of that today. I'm not done. I haven't finished the entire RuneScape world yet. But I have done a great amount of it. Like, not the whole thing, I would say. There is more here, by the way. I'm just going to update that since I've changed it. Should all update nicely. Just go like that. Yeah, there we go. So you can see various paths and other things around there. So let's head out here. And so yeah, this is the Lumbridge Castle. I'm just going to clear out my inventory here. So this is the Lumbridge Castle here. It's got the 3 layers. I think I made it slightly bigger than it is in the actual game because I don't know, I think it just fit more to be a castle size. Like, they make it pretty small in the game. So yeah, it's got the 3 layers. I'll just take you through a couple of the rooms. Don't want to go through the whole thing, but this is the dining hall in here. If we head through here, we got the kitchen. And then we've got, you know, a basement down here. Which, for most of the ladders in this game, I used barrier blocks with a ladder in the front just to make it look, you know, like a hanging ladder or something like it does in the game. And then we've got just, you know, downstairs here, all furnished and with the cobwebs and stuff. So let's head back up here and we'll check out the staircases just real quick. So these are the staircases. They go up both sides just like they do in the game. Got some rooms in the middle floor, and then if we head to the top, we have the bank. So the bank up here is going to be, it's got, you know, the deposit box here. It's got just the banking area, the bank booths, which is going to have some ender chests just right here to make it so that you can actually access your bank account. And yeah, so that's Lumbridge Castle. Pretty cool looking if you ask me. Of course I built it though, so but yeah, so if we head out from Lumbridge Castle here, we see the bridge that goes across the river here that leads to the Goblin Area. So the Goblin Area is over here. It's got, you know, the little cabin thing, a bunch of dead brush and stuff, and then we got the church, which is pretty cool. We got a big organ in the front, some windows and all that good stuff. And then, yeah, so we got some other various buildings, and then we got the graveyard over here, which leads over to the swamp. And the swamp, most of this, guys, I left flat. Like, I didn't want to make too much variation in the terrain because I want it to be as simplistic as possible so you don't have to be jumping all the time, because realistically, if you're walking up a hill in any game, do you really have to be jumping constantly? Like, that shouldn't be. So most of this is flat. There's just the occasional little ups and downs for the major stuff. And I made a big decision with the swamp because without all of these little hills and stuff, it was pretty flat. It was pretty not, you know, it didn't look good. So any of the places that actually needed to be raised up, I raised up. And I used MC Edit, or wait, no, not MC Edit, sorry, World Edit to do most of this. So, you know, you got the axe to copy paste, and you can use other tools like as brush tools. But yeah, so we got little cabins. We got a mining area here. That's the tutorial mining area. We got the river going through here. Another little cabin. Then we got this little log fire area. And then we head out the back of the swamp here, and we got some ruins there. I made all the forests. So I'll explain to you a little bit about the different trees. So this is a regular tree, like in RuneScape. I used the same design, I just copy pasted it around. So those are the regular trees. Then we got the oak trees, which look like this. And those are spread around. I counted basically the amount of trees and then generally where they were placed and then put them where they were placed. There's obviously a couple more regular trees than are actually in the game, or a couple less depending. But yeah, so these are yew trees. The level, I believe, I can't remember what you have to be to cut yew trees. Pretty high, I think like 70 or something like that. But yeah, there's yew trees here, and then there's willow trees over here. So the willow trees are pretty large. But yeah, so the goal of this world is basically I'm going to be designing the code with command blocks to create this as an actual game that will be very similar to RuneScape, but first person, and you know, you can quest around and stuff like that, level up your skills, all that fun stuff. But here we have Draenor Village, I suppose, Draenor Village. We got, you know, the bank, a couple little village or houses here, little square in the middle. And I have a diagonal house here because in the game it's diagonal, kind of just goes along here. I didn't really know how to do the door if I made a diagonal house, but this is, yeah, that's how I did it. But yeah, so this took a lot of work, as you can imagine, guys. It's a very, very large amount of work. If we go into statistics, it says 8.14 days of playtime, but it has been actually about double that because I updated once. And it had about 7.5 days before that. But this is the bank here. As you can see, this one I have put ender chests in, so you'll be able to access your bank account. And yeah, so we got the willow trees here. This is where most people farm willow trees. You just go over here and back and forth. And then over this way, we've got the wizard's tower. Got the bridge going across the water here. And then we got the wizard's tower in here, where the demon is at the top. I'm not going to go in this too much, but that's the design from the outside. It's basically the same as it is in the game. And yeah, this is a fairy ring. In the game of RuneScape, I don't know if you've played it before, but if you have, you probably know for members there is fairy rings that are just placed around and you can use them for teleportation. And yeah, I've got fountains and other various things. I'll head over this way. Check out some other areas. This is the prison right beside Draenor. Got, you know, all your wheat fields and potato fields and stuff. I'm going to design a texture pack for the potatoes because these are extremely bright. Hurts your eyes so much. I really just hate them so much. Like that, look at that. That hurts your eyes. But yeah. So this right here is the wheat field. We got a windmill. And yeah, if we head inside of the windmill real quick, it's pretty cool. I built a little chute. You know, it doesn't actually do anything, but it looks like a chute comes down into this little area here. And then we got, you know, goes up, and then it goes up, and then we have a log that goes right out to the middle of the windmill that, you know, metaphorically turns this whole thing. So that would turn, which would in turn turn that, and then it would turn down there, and it would grind up all the stuff. Yeah, it's doesn't actually do anything functionally, but it looks pretty cool, and yeah. So yeah, more fields, more stuff. Just little cabins here. Got the general store, all that fun stuff. And the cow area and the chicken area here, where most people farm cows and chickens. So I've started a little bit on the programming. I don't know much about it, which is why I'm asking you guys for help, basically. I'll be uploading this onto a server if anybody decides to help me. Right now, this is a single player world, but if anybody actually wants to help me with this, then feel free to do so. But right now, I've got a for the chickens. You know, that's the code right there. If you want to pause and look at it in the chat bar there, you can. But basically what I have is a zombie pigman spawning on top of a chicken. And then if you hit the chicken, it'll also hit the zombie pigman. And they'll get aggroed at you and attack you. And I reduce their health to the amount of health that a chicken has in RuneScape and their damage. And I also made it so that the chickens, if we go over to here, if we grab a sword and just kill one of these chickens, you'll see they drop a bone, between 5 and 15 feathers, and a raw chicken, which is exactly what they drop in the game. So we got 5 feathers there. We got 5 feathers there. No feathers there. There we go, 10 feathers there. So it varies. Like you're less likely to get higher amounts of feathers and more likely to get lower amounts of feathers, but you can get either. And I also have some command blocks in here that basically make it so that whenever you kill a chicken in this area, it'll spawn another one of those chickens with the zombie pigman on top. Except that these ones actually don't have the zombie pigmans on top of them. As you can see, we're hitting above it and nothing's there. But this one will spawn in... There we go. You can hear it hitting the zombie pigman. So the zombie pigman's invincible. It can't be hurt. So you have to actually hit the chicken. And when you kill the chicken, it'll still drop the same stuff. It's just it'll get aggroed. Basically, I'm also going to lower all the damage on the weapons so that it doesn't instantly kill the chicken. It'll have to deal about half a heart. Depending if you have a better or worse sword, like a rune sword or any other sword like that. But yeah, so that is where I'm at for this. Also, this up here I set just to kill any chickens that spawn up here, because I made it spawn the chicken and spread it within a 5-block area. Instead of spread, and sometimes it'll spread it on top of here, and I don't want that, so I'm just killing any of the chickens that hop up here, basically. But yeah, I haven't done the same thing for cows yet, but it would be the same concept with cows. And yeah, so let's head over and just check out some other buildings that I've made. So here's the forest in front of Varrock City. Here's the mining area. This is where most people do their mining, either here or if they're getting clay, they'll go over this way, over to this mining area over there. You can see it there. And yeah, so we got some towers, the towers around, and this is the wizard circle, where there's a lot of dangerous wizards here usually. Probably make them zombies with like a Steve head on and like some black dyed leather armor or something, you know. To make the mobs in this, we'll have to improvise. But if anybody knows anything about command blocks, or you know, if you know a lot about command blocks, basically, if you only know a little bit, I only know a little bit as well, so we probably would only know the same amount. But if you know a lot about command blocks, then message me, comment on this video, and I will definitely get your help. I need builders and I need command block enthusiasts, basically, to be able to finish this, because honestly, this is a lot of building. This is the Varrock City. This took me the longest time, I think, out of anything to finish this city, because it's got a lot in it. In some areas, like the rune shop here, I added some effects, you know, on the sign, how there's stars coming out of the sign. Just added the critical strike effect, just to be spread around there, just to make it seem more mystical. And you can do that in many areas. This is the fountain. It's pretty cool. You know what I just realized, actually? I never built the fountain in the middle of this place. That's actually really surprising. Maybe it's not in the old school RuneScape version. I'll have to check that out, because yeah, that is a pretty big spot in this. It might only be in the new version, though. This is the old school RuneScape world, just so you guys know. But yeah, so added the particle effect of water here, just spraying up. And yeah, so Varrock is done. You can see this is the castle, Varrock Castle. It's it was a pretty big build too, honestly. It was probably about half as much work as the actual town or city. Yeah, and this area here, this is the church. It's got this steeple thing here that I added. It's not actually in the game, it's just without it, it looked kind of bland, so I added that in. Various little things like that I changed. Stuff that wouldn't make people be like, oh man, shouldn't have done that, but, you know, just little things to make it look better. This is the museum. It's got, you know, the downstairs. This was a big project too, to add all of the places here. With command blocks, we're going to need to add some displays here, you know, like various, there's a dragon here, so I'm going to add the ender dragon in, kind of not moving, like frozen and silent, so it just kind of sits there just as a display. Whoops. But yeah, this is the map of the city. It looks pretty cool, if you ask me. But yeah, so let's continue here. Just checking stuff out. So we got the bank here. We got, yeah, basically all of Varrock. If you ever played the game before, you can see that this is all of Varrock done. We got the bank over here. Right in here. So yeah, this is a pretty cool bank. We'll check out the Grand Exchange as well. Got the pillars. We got just, you know, like the circle like it is in the game. And the teleportation tree over here from, I think, the quest Monkey Madness. I think that's what it's called, Monkey Madness. But yeah, so this is the Grand Exchange. You'll just kind of head in here. We'll have some villagers kind of standing there. And you'll be able to do your trading business there. And yeah, so we got another windmill here. This is the first windmill that I built. It's got a bit of a bigger mill. I don't know. The windmill. We'll say windmill. And the river goes all the way along here. All the way to the wilderness edge. I kind of drew the general line of where the wilderness is. I think Edgeville is over this way. I haven't gotten to that yet. Barbarian Village I haven't done yet. Falador I haven't done yet, which is going to be another huge project. But this is the place that leads to the hill giants that are under the ground over here. And yeah, the Barbarian Village is right there. And this river took a long time. Actually, the river is a really hard part of this building because it's very organic. Like, you can't make it square like a building. Like, you have to actually like form it all around. But I think it turned out quite well. Like, it looks good in my opinion. And it goes down through here. It kind of lowers. Got a little waterfall there. But yeah, so that is, I think, the majority of what I've done. It's a lot. It is a very large amount of building. So I'm not going to show you guys the entire everything in detail. You'll be able to figure that out once you actually play the game, or if you help me with it. But yeah, if any of you guys know anything about command blocks, please help me. Because I've been using the Reddit on Reddit, the command block Reddit, and people have been helping me out. That's how I got those commands done with the chickens. You know, asking various questions, little bits of information here and there. But if anybody knows a lot about command blocks, like if you're fluent in any language of programming and you know about command blocks, then I'm sure we can figure out this stuff. But yeah, so oh, there's a what the heck? I don't know how he got there. That's weird. But also, one more thing with this is there's some other command blocks here under the ground right there that basically make any animal that is riding another animal kill both of them whenever one of them dies. So the reason is when you kill this chicken, you also want the pigman to die, but the pigman's invincible. So you have to get him to die at the same time. So once you kill the mount, you kill the rider, basically. So they both die at the same time. There's no invisible pigman that just kind of sits here. But yeah, so guys, this is a lot of work. This is what I've been doing. Al-Kharid has not been built yet, but you can see I kind of laid out the area for it, the fade in between the sand and the grass. Yeah, so let's wrap up this video. If any of you can help me, I would really appreciate that. I'll put it on a server, we'll work on it together, and we'll get this done. I really want to see this come to fruition. I want to help, you know, I want you guys to be able to play this. I want to be able to play this, I want you guys to be able to play this. This looks like a really fun kind of game. So yeah, anybody who can help with building or command blocks, please just leave a comment and we will talk about it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, favorite, subscribe, and do all the other awesome things you guys do. And I will see you in the next video.